Good morning. I am going to show you a lateral bend practice today. I like to use this. You could use this in the beginning of class. You can use it in the middle or at the end. I mean, it kind of fits in many different places. It's a balance pose. And also, lately, I've been really into exploring my armpits. And also, it's just what happens in the side ribs and the armpits when you do lateral bends, because lateral bends are just as important as back bends. But you do have to be careful on them because they're asymmetrical. And so sometimes when you do a lateral bend, you could be putting different structures at risk, particularly the sacroiliac joints. So you have to be a little bit careful with lateral bends for that reason. But this is one of my faves. It's like, and those mornings when I just want to do a practice that's low to the ground, this is a great lateral bend to stay low to the ground. So come and join me if you have a mat. You don't really need to be very warmed up to practice this, but we'll warm up just a little with Chakravakasana. So when you come to tabletop, inhale and lengthen your spine, pull your hands isometrically back, lift your chest and face. And when you exhale, round your back, lower your elbows, and then hips to heels. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. We'll do that 2 more times. Take your time. If your wrists don't feel great, you could always do this with a bolster or the hands off the blanket is another possibility. Okay, now we're going to come to tabletop, and the left knee and the left hand will support you. So, and the right leg is going to go out behind. So the left knee is approximately perpendicular, but the left hand can be slightly in front of the left shoulder. That actually can be a little more helpful. Then you start to rotate the hips. Now, some people need to put or feel better putting the left leg back a little for more balance. No problem. So start to open the hips and then bend the right elbow. And when you inhale, just take that whole arm, bent elbow and all, a little bit forward towards your head. And when you exhale, soften. So as you inhale, you're trying to make an arc shape from your foot to your wrist, noticing all those structures that are getting mobilized there. Exhaling back and doing it at least 3 or 4 times on each side before you stay in the pose. And then when you stay in the pose, wow, you have an opportunity to use your breath, mobilize and open up the intercostals, but you should be feeling this like in your psoas too, and in structures like the latissimus and the back body. So it kind of gets everything all around the left side, the right side. One more breath. And then when you're ready, rotate back down. We'll take 1 or 2 breaths in child's pose. And what I always like to say, the pause is just as important as the pose, because as you pause here, you have that opportunity to notice the whole right side. Notice how it feels different from the left side. That starts to elicit neuroplastic changes in the brain, just that awareness. So just taking a moment to notice it. When you're ready, come back up to tabletop. And then we'll stretch the left foot out behind. So make sure you're balanced. The right hand can be a little bit in front of the shoulder. Doesn't have to be way in front, a little bit. And the right knee is approximately underneath the right hip, and then start to rotate. So there's a balance issue. If there's a balance issue, you can, as I said, you can take the foot back. The other thing you can do here, this is not a problem at all, is just do the whole thing against a wall, right? So if balance feels like an issue for you, be at a wall. Okay, then the left elbow is bent. And then as we inhale, start to move that left arm. And then exhale it back. It doesn't have to be a straight arm. Why? There's no need for straightness here. It's about the sensations. And I'm trying to create kind of an arc shape because I'm trying to create that shape because that's where I get the sensation in the lateral, in the side body. Okay, next time you inhale, let's stay here. Kind of play with it a little bit and take your breath into the left side. Left armpit, left ribs, left waist. One more. And then as you're ready, rotate it back down. Take another rest in child's pose. The pause is as important as the pose. So taking a moment to notice. And then sit up and take a moment sitting up and notice side body. Do you feel your armpits? Told you I'm into my armpits lately. So how do your armpits feel? How does the side body feel? And then also notice how your energy feels too, because that is a practice. It's called Brahmana, right? It a little bit energizing. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.